something I have been procrastinating, regretting, lamenting.
Here we go.
Ever since
Rams.
it was locked in.
Here we go.
I don't know who I'm taking. Rams,
Here
Bengals.
We go. You want me to go first?
Well, I know you're going first because you're taking the Rams.
I am. I'm going with the Rams. I am. I look at the Rams. I think there's two things that just base level that I look at. I do think they're a more talented football team. I do. I think when we go through it, there's a lot to like with the Bengals, but I think you go through more of the position units, you're going to pick the Rams units more times than the Bengals. I'm also going to give the edge in coaching to the Rams a little bit. Not that it's a huge advantage, but I think just between those two things, the fact that it's a little bit of an older team, a little bit more battle-tested, and really in some ways, again, the Bengals are magical, Mike, but you kind of know how I feel. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks I'm not sure they were the better team in the divisional round on the field. I'm not sure they were the better team on the field in the AFC round and the AFC Championship game. So I'm going with the Rams, and I'm going with the Rams like 38-21 type of win.
Wow.
I'm going with the Rams to win dominantly.
Bang.
Yes, I am.
Look, wow.
Yeah.
And I've said a few times this week that if the Rams are going to win, it's got to be step on their throat,
right.
Keep pressing, don't let them back into it.
Yeah.
Because if you let them hang around, they're eventually going to take it. They did it against the Titans. They did it against the Chiefs. And they almost let the Raiders do it to them.
No doubt. They let them hang around.
But all these games are close.
Yeah.
They're battle-tested.
Right.
Don't mess around with Joe Burrow. But they've got the pass rush. How many years have we seen the pass rush that is dominant overwhelm a quarterback? We saw it last year.
Right.
We saw it the year that the Broncos beat the Panthers, despite Peyton Manning no longer having much of anything as it relates to some of his higher-end abilities. A lot of quarterbacks could have won that game. I don't think a lot of quarterbacks could have gotten them to the game, but on that day, it was about Von Miller and the pass rush, and I think it's going to be about the pass rush. It's going to be about the defense. It's going to be about Odell Beckham Jr. I think he's going to have a big game. We said yesterday we both believe he'll be over the 60.5 receiving yards. I had 30-21 in my head.
30-21.
30-21.
And you're thinking
I had 30-21 Rams because the spread's down to 4 because so many people are betting on the Bengals. They're moving the number to entice people to bet on the Rams, but I think it's head versus heart. And a lot of people want to see the Bengals win. It's a great story. You get caught up in a great story. You get caught up in an underdog story. I remember 30 years ago, 36 years ago, the 85 Bears.
Sure.
The Patriots making it to the game.
Right.
I was caught, I'm in college. I'm thinking, hey, I want the Patriots to win this. It's a great story. I want and they splattered. And I feel like it's going to be splatter time. And one of the things we haven't talked about all week, the advantage that the Rams have of not having to leave Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Of not having to get on a plane and go 3 time zones away. Of not having to adjust to that. Of being in their regular environment. I know they've had to practice at the Rose Bowl because of wins, but they're the home team, even though the Bengals are technically the home team. And I think there's a built-in advantage there as well. When, it's not like you're going to get to sleep in your bed all week long. At some point you go to the team hotel, but you're home. You're still in your natural environment, and there's a built-in advantage there that the Bengals are going to have to overcome. And Joe Burrow said, distractions already have taken root early in the week, and they have to get away from that, and they have to focus on team. For the Rams, it's never a distraction. They live here. They're here all the time. It's not an issue. It's not anything. It's almost like what you say about going to Miami. You got all these Bengals players coming to L.A., and they may get caught up in the L.A.
80 degrees, yeah. Oh, let's go to this place. Let's get out here. Let's walk. Let's go to the beach. I hear you there. The Rams certainly aren't going to fall into that trap, But yeah, I think you make good points. I do. They're in their comfort level. Like even today, I know the Rams, I think we're practicing at the Rose Bowl because their normal facility had like high winds, right? Or something like that.
I said that.
I did. But I didn't know if you said today. But to your point, they're still getting in the car going home.
Yeah.
They're not going to a hotel. They're in that process. There is that. But as you know, too, and we've talked to this a little bit, you could play the flip side of that as well. You are home. People are starting to come into town. And, hey, it's everywhere you go. Hey, Super Bowl, yeah, Rams, Super Bowl. You're having to hear that a little bit. Where the Bengals, as we know on the road, sometimes you get to the team hotel and all you do is, like, man, just focus on the game. But I think would give the Rams the advantage to your point. I think that's right.
One of the things that we both agreed on, NFC Championship game, great players making great plays.
Yeah.
And the Rams have the great players. Will they make the great plays? Will Matthew Stafford cough one up, and will it make a difference? If it keeps it close, that's how the Bengals have a shot. I think the Bengals blowing out the Rams is the bottom possibility.
The thing that doesn't happen, right.
If the Rams win, I expect it to be a big win because I think Sean McVay will have them ready to go. Who do you give the edge to in the boss versus former pupil with Zach Taylor? Zach Taylor knows the personnel to an extent. Obviously, different quarterback, different running back, but he knows the personnel. But McVay knows Zach Taylor.
Yeah, I give it to McVay. I do. I always kind of give it to the teacher more than the pupil, more times than not. And I think the other thing too, McVay, of course, has coached in a Super Bowl already. This is Zach Taylor's first time around doing that. There is something to that. I talked to Sean McVay last week, and you'll see it in the pregame show. He talks about some of those experiences from the first time around and how it's going to help him this time around. So I think I look at that, and I do look at, again, I really like Zach Taylor and that offense and what him and Brian Callahan do on that side of the ball. But I guess I am more of a fan of what McVay has to offer that way too. The one thing McVay I thought was really cool he said to me, Mike, was that he's added a lot to his offense this year. Because once he got to know Matt Stafford, I guess he was smarter than he even thought he was going to be. Like, just as far as X's and O's, knowing everything about plays. And he's like, Stafford could teach me, like a coach, certain plays that I didn't have a lot of experience with. And because of that, McVay has said Stafford is added to the McVay offense. He's taken some of the Scott Linehan drop-back pass plays that Matthew Stafford has and some of the other good offensive coordinators who've been around, and they've infused that into their offense. And I think they're a little bit of a deadly combination. McVay made it sound like, man, their game planning, that Stafford certainly has a say in what he likes to do, and I give that a little bit of an edge in that group there because Burrow, of course, young too and still doesn't know a whole lot that way.
It's been a long time coming for Matthew Stafford, a long time coming for Aaron Donald, a long time coming for Odell Beckham Jr. There's just too much of that.
That's what
There's too much of that. Guys coming together, coalescing and realizing this is our opportunity. We've been in the NFL for so long. And now, Donald was there 3 years ago, knows how hard it is to get back. Odell Beckham Jr.'s never been there. Stafford's never been there. I just feel like, and here's the other.
They want to win for the other one, too. It's not even for themselves. They're all like, I want to win for Aaron Donald, or I want to win for OBJ.
Do you really want to have to show up for work every damn home game for the rest of your career with the Rams in the stadium where you lost a Super Bowl? I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, I hear you.
This is only the second time it's ever happened.
You're right.
You don't want that. That fear-based motivation of we don't want to look. This is our workplace. We can't lose the biggest professional game of our lives here and have to continue to show up here and play all the time. So I think that's part of it as well. We have to let you go. By the way, Bob Seger is still with us.
Yeah.
Bob Seger is 76 years old. He's still with us, and he may make a return at any point. Because it was scary how loud it was just before we came on the air.
Right, it was
like bust your eardrums.
No doubt. What do you think? You think the Bengals have a good plan to slow down that pass rush of the Rams and all that?
They'll have a plan. They'll have a
just
plan.
When you do it.
Plan goes out the window when you get hit in the mouth. Who said that? Mike Tyson?
Yeah, right. It's the one thing to watch out in the game, that serves. We know it's more than any other Super Bowl that I can remember. I mean, it's a team that got 50-plus sacks going against a team that got sacked 50-plus times. That's rare. It doesn't always happen. The team that got the 50-plus sacks, I believe this is the third time in the Super Bowl this has happened, they win every time. The defense wins. So I believe they're 3-0 in that stat department. I'm going to be interested, too, Mike, with this little angle. The Rams, we know the front four is great. They rush 5 too much. And if you rush 5 and you're worried about the pass rush, what do you think as the other team's quarterback? He's going to be going, let me get the ball out quick. Let me get it out quick, right? To me, that'll play right in the hands of the Bengals. Now there's one less guy, maybe over the middle to throw a slant route or a shallow cross route for Jamar Chase. If the Rams rush 4, I think they're going to give problems to the Bengals. If they get over aggressive and try to just go over the kill shot, the jugular, then they're going to let the Bengals hang around, and Joe Burrow's going to make some plays with Jamar Chase, and then that's when the game gets dicey.
I'm definitely not feeling great about my pick.
Yeah.
And I do kind of hope the Bengals win just because I think it'd be a better story.
Cool story.
And we love good stories.
Hear you.
But it feels like the Rams players
are primed right now.
They deserve it. They've earned it,
Yeah.
and they're doing it at home. And again, they don't want to keep coming back to this stadium for every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday the rest of their careers with the Rams, experiencing again, having flashbacks again to the day that they had a championship in their hands and they blew it. So I don't think they're going to blow it. I think they're going to win it. We're going to take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.